Shannon, does Van Gundy have a point?
You know he has a point, Skip, baby.
I know he
you
has a
know,
point.
Skip.
Oh,
Look.
I must have just awakened this morning with this new thought. Oh, yeah, he's right.
And not only is he close, in a couple of more years, he's going to be so close to him, he's going to be in front of him.
Oh, really? A couple more years?
Yeah. And this, see, here's the thing, Skip, is that when you talk about Jordan and you bring up LeBron, 6 championships. Well, if you're just basing it on championships, shouldn't Bill Russell be the best player of all time? You know why you don't do that? Because you look at body of work. You say, well, Bill Russell only averaged about 15.5 points per game. He did average over 20 rebounds a game. Mm-hmm. Okay. But that's not what we do. We say Michael Jordan is the best. But LeBron's body of work brings everything into the discussion, Skip. And as Jeff Van Gundy is noting, he says in year 14, he's about to be selected to his 11th straight All-NBA first team. So when you bring in the amount of points that he scored, the way he assists the ball, the way he rebounds the ball, the 6 straight finals, if he goes to this one, this will be 7. And then you look at his playoffs, Skip, it has to mean something. You're looking at like, well, Michael Jordan was 6-0, but Michael Jordan played 6 years. So what about the other 10 years? He didn't go to the finals? I mean, why didn't he go to the finals then?
Pretty good to be 6-0 with 6 MVPs in the finals, though, right? Can you do much better
in
than
16
that?
years. LeBron, if he were to go to this one, would be 8-14. You told me it should mean something going to the Super Bowl because that's how you graded Tom. Because if you're just going by Super Bowl wins, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, and Troy Aikman should be better than Tom Brady because they're undefeated in Super Bowls. Joe Montana, not only is he undefeated, he never threw an interception.
But Brady won 6 out of 7.
Brady is 5-2.
Huh? 5? No. Oh, that one. Well,
And
one got stolen.
And he could be 2. He could be 2-5. He could be 4-3. He could be 3-4.
Skip,
but I agree I agree, and I want to go hear your point because I want to come back at you. When you look at LeBron James' career in year 14, he's playing at a level that no other player has ever played at in this year, at this later stage in their career. And to post career highs in rebounds and assists after leading the league in minutes, there's no question. You must have this conversation. And he's still painting on that canvas. And when this masterpiece is complete, we might hang it in the Louvre.
Really?
Yeah.
Above 23s? Yeah. The real 23.
I'm
the
just
23.
He's 23 too.
Oh, okay. He stole it.
He stole it.
Look, I like Jeff Van Gundy a lot. Good guy, terrific analyst, man of faith, respect him a lot. But this is obviously absurd, and it's obviously biased by the fact that Michael Jordan inflicted so much basketball pain on Jeff Van Gundy when he was an assistant and the head coach for the New York Knicks. Just look at the record. Assistant and head coach versus Michael. He was 7-25 in the regular season, 0-4 in playoff series with a record of 6-15.
So that means he can't have an unbiased opinion?
Well, guess what happened January of '97? Do you remember the con man comment made by one Jeff Van Gundy that set off Michael Jordan?
Yes.
Remember it? It was basically, this is from Jeff, before they were about to play the Bulls at the United Center. This is about Jordan. He tries to make players on other teams feel he cares about them. Then he goes out there and tries to destroy them. And he put it in the context if he's a con man.
Yes.
So Michael decided, because he got mad, if Michael gets mad, he was the ultimate force of nature. He decided, watch this Jeff Van Gundy. He goes out the next night and goes for 51, which is the most points any NBA player scored that season. And after basket, he stared down Van Gundy as he ran up court. And then after he scored his 51st point in a close game that they won by 2, he shouted at Van Gundy, and then he followed Van Gundy up the tunnel and screamed at him, "Take that, you little bleep, you know what?" And Michael's quote to the media after the game was, "I guess I didn't make any friends out there tonight," which is the ultimate boom, right?
But you know what Michael did.
yep.
Oh, he invited him over to smoke cigars,
Well,
take him to dinner, play golf,
that means
and then go out there and bash him over the head.
The joke is on them because that's what he was made of. He was a killer on the court. He did not care about any friendship. And if Charles Barkley dared to think, we're really close. Nope, not when it really matters.
Not in competition, y'all, not close.
Not close at all. And then I remind you also of the 1993 conference finals when the Knicks were actually favored because they were seeded higher than the Bulls and they won the first 2 games at home. But a story broke that Michael was accused of going to Atlantic City between game 1 and 2 and gambling. And he took that very personally and got very, very angry and went home. And in game 4, he dropped 54 on Van Gundy's team. And then next game in game 5, he went for 29, 14, and 10. And they won all 4 games from that point forward. And Van Gundy lives with those memories, with the pain of that. And finally, because Jeff does work for ABC, and ABC is going to televise the finals, I'm sure there's some concern on the part of network executives that it's going to be a little tougher to sell Golden State Cleveland number 3 for a 3rd year in a row than it was to sell 1 or 2. So why wouldn't Jeff say, what the heck, and try to sell it? You know what? Maybe LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. Just throw it out there just to set people off because he's actually preaching to a very large choir of blind witnesses led by Shannon Sharpe.
No.
So
Skip,
I get it, but it's just blasphemous baloney.
It is not blasphemous because when you look at when LeBron James is done, he will be either the all-time leading scorer or he will be number 2. When you look at when he's done, he will probably be in the top 10 in assists. Nobody in the history of the game has his resume right now as far as points, rebounds, and assists. Nobody can say what he's saying. And if you look at what he's done, and I told you earlier, Skip, and you talk about, well, you can say that. If you look at these 8 playoff games, this is the best LeBron James has played in 8 games in his career. And
again, asterisk against the Pacers and the Raptors without Kyle Lowry. Really? You're going to take that to your bank? I'm not. It just doesn't count.
Skip, sometimes you have to play who you play, and then sometimes guys get injured. Well, but you killing James Harden for not showing up to the bail. Here's a guy that shows up to the bail. It doesn't matter who's on the court. It doesn't matter where they're playing. He does his job, Skip. If the regular season doesn't mean anything, why not just have the playoffs?
Okay, look, I've told you from the start, and I contend this to this day, he's the best passer in basketball. I give you that.
He's the best player,
no,
but go ahead,
He's
carry
the best passer in basketball, and he's also the most durable superstar ever. And I'm going to knock on wood for his sake because I don't want to see him get hurt. But the point is, he's just piling up points and assists and rebounds by longevity, just playing year after year. And obviously, Michael had to take a little sabbatical for a couple of years.
Michael played 16 years.
Yeah, but he took 2 off, right?
And he still played 16 years.
All right, but he was older when he came back, and he didn't take care of himself the way your guy takes care of himself.
What they got to do with me?
Okay.
What they got to do with me and Bron?
All this has to do with me is 6-0 in finals with 6 MVPs, and you mentioned body of work. I keep telling you, you forced me to do this. I didn't want to do this, but you wanted to do this topic, so I'm going to do it. Again,
do it.
Body of work forces me to say, Shannon, it's over because LeBron permanently stained his resume at least 3 just painful times where I couldn't even watch what happened we just talked about it in the previous topic. The 2011 finals was the worst superstar meltdown ever.